Order the June 17th edition of the Sacramento Area Flood Control Agency. Madam Clerk, will you please call roll to establish a quorum?
Thank you. Matt Conant, Nick Abdis.
Here.
Deborah Jones.
Here.
Brian Holloway. Cyril Shaw.
Here.
Angelique Ashby. Jeff Harris.
Here.
Rick Jennings.
Here.
Rich Desmond. Sue Frost.
Here.
Patrick Kennedy. Don Natoli. Phil Cernan.
Here.
We do have a quorum.
Okay, thank you very much, Lindy. Do you have announcements to read?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This meeting of SAFCA is being recorded and will be aired on Metro Cable 14 on Sunday, June 20th at 9 a.m. Meetings may also be viewed on Metro Cable 14's YouTube channel, and the meeting will be posted on SAFCA's website within 48 hours after the meeting. Just as a courtesy and reminder, please remember to mute your microphones if you are not speaking. Thank you.
Thank you, Lindy. Director Jennings, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Yes, I will. Everyone salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to
and
the
to the
republic
republic
for which
for
it
which it
stands,
stands,
one
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Director Jennings. You do that so well. Madam Clerk, do we have any public comments not on the agenda or any email to read into the record?
Chairman Harris, I just checked and have not received any email comments, requests to speak or comments.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's move on to item 1, please.
Item 1 is a public hearing, resolution number 2021-069, adopting the fiscal year 2021-22 recommended budget.
Thank you very much. I believe Jason is here to make some comments.
Correct.
Thank you, Chair Harris. This is Jason Campbell, Deputy Executive Director. And we are in June, and it's time for our annual public hearing for our recommended budget. As we have presented in the prior month, we have a fairly significant amount of activities taking place for our annual projections going forward for 22. So as we begin this, I'll go ahead and start with where we're finishing up our current fiscal year. So Lindy, next slide, please. So as we look at the projections going forward, our total cash position in SAFCA for the projections for the end of the current fiscal year is about $180 million worth of cash equivalents in our different funds. And that is made up from both the fiscal accounts as well as our operating funds where we see appropriations. Next slide, please, Lindy. So on the operating side, which we will be discussing the appropriations that are proposed, we have 4 accounts that we carry roughly $105.8 million. And of those accounts, we have the Operations and Maintenance Assessment District, which actually stands as our general fund, which we're sitting on a cash equivalent of about $12.2 million. You can see the other cash equivalents in the different operating funds from the Development Impact Fee, the NATOMAS Basin Local Assessment District, as well as the Consolidated Capital Assessment District number 2. In all of these funds, we're in pretty good stead as far as the cash position itself. But as we move forward, we do like to take a look at what our fund balances of appropriations are going to be. So next slide, please, Lindy. So at the end of this fiscal year, we're anticipating fund balances of about $69.6 million in appropriations. Again, the Operations and Maintenance Assessment District is carrying about $12.4 million in fund balance that was not spent in appropriations this year. However, as we move forward, we're seeing that a number of these activities are going to ramp up, and we will be seeing plenty of effort going forward in all of the other 3 funds as well. So the Development Impact Fee of $13.6 roughly $13.7 million, as well as the NATOMAS Basin Local Assessment District, and the $31.3 million in the Consolidated Capital Assessment District. We will be using these project fund balances to pay for the coming appropriations. Next slide, please, Lindy. So as part of our 22 proposed budget recommendation that we're going to go over today, we have roughly $120.8 million worth of appropriations that we're requesting. The appropriations are going to be made up of the fund balances we just discussed. We'll be using roughly $39.8 million of fund balance from the current year, and then plussing that up with also revenues from other entities and reimbursements from the state of $48.8 million. And then, of course, our total from reserves, from bond proceeds and other cash proceeds coming in from our assessments of $32.1 million. Next slide, please, Lindy. So when we speak about appropriations, we want to talk about where those sources are going to be spent. So from our projection of $120.8 million, salaries and benefits make up roughly 2% or $3.5 million of the total spend by the agency. Our services and supplies across all of the different funds are about $14.1 million, and that's primarily based on consultant services and other costs such as O&M accounts for our LMAs, as well as other consultants and different activities. We have contingencies that we would like to carry. This is still relatively new. It's the second year that we've budgeted contingencies. And that's based on the nature of the work that we're performing with our core partners as well as the state partners. There are some ideas that we could try to advance things maybe that aren't necessarily known, or we may need to address certain issues over time. So we like to have those contingencies already appropriated. We haven't had to use much, but it's always nice to have that a little small safety net. In addition, we have operating transfers going between funds to cover expenditures of appropriations in the different funds. And then, of course, our lion's share of all of our efforts from a fiscal standpoint go towards projects and acquisitions for projects. $113.1 or $2 million is a pretty significant amount for the agency. So we're looking at another very busy year and a couple of years ahead as well. So next slide, please, Lindy. So again, much more details provided in the packet that's associated with the resolution and its exhibits. This represents the O&M assessment district summary, the appropriations and the GL categories, the general ledger categories are identified here. As you can see, are $3.4 million in overall salaries and benefits. Plus, you can see services and supplies of 5.3. Some transfers coming in. This is the charges for labor for projects that are reimbursing the O&M fund or our general fund for staff's time. And the total makeup of the $7.98 million is offset by $6.3 million coming in revenue from assessments, as well as some prior year fund balances. Next slide, Lindy. As part of our requirements per government code, we have to provide you with the list of positions, the associated salaries, and the number of full-time equivalents for those positions. There are no real changes in the proposed positions or the allocations of staff time positions. So we are still sitting at 18.5 full-time equivalents. Next slide, please. And as we move out of the O&M budget and into the development impact fee, again, the general ledger accounts summaries are shown. The infrastructure component is by far the largest expenditure side. The $27.6 million is made up of a number of activities that we'll discuss in just a bit here. But the primary activity currently is this fund is being utilized to cash flow and support the Lower Elkhorn Basin levee setback, as well as portions of the American River Common Features 2016 projects. And those revenues that you see just below, the $11.6 million in state grants, is just a portion of what we anticipate overall revenues to be coming back from the state in those reimbursements. And then, of course, we have $13.8 million roughly that are being utilized from prior fund balance. So overall, we anticipate $31.9 million roughly of appropriations and expenditures in the Development Impact Fee Fund. Next slide, please, Lindy. Moving on to the NATOMAS Basin Local Assessment District. Again, this assessment district has bond funds associated with it and primarily supports the bond debt service. However, we've received reimbursements in prior years for work done in NATOMAS coming from the state. As we continue to move forward, we are using those funds as operating transfers to the from the NATOMAS Basin Local Assessment District going into the Consolidated Capital Assessment District to support the large capital programs that are afoot. So that $15 million you see is an operating transfer to cover cash flow and other issues that we would like to make sure are addressed from a funding perspective. So $15.8 million in overall spend anticipated in the NATOMAS Basin Local Assessment District Fund. And that is, again, offset by prior year fund balance that was not utilized in the current year, and then a reserve release of another $4.4 million. We do still receive a slight differential in assessments coming into the fund from these annual assessments. Next slide, please, Lindy. So for the Consolidated Capital Assessment District, which is by far the largest fund the agency has, this is where a tremendous amount of activity takes place in regards to the federal programs as well as our other localized programs for obviously protecting the community from floodwaters, as well as the support of all the different activities that are associated with the projects. So as we look at the $65 million in appropriations that are being proposed, 20 million of that, or 20.8 million of that, is associated with land acquisitions, primarily around those federal programs, as well as support of those federal programs with $45.9 million in construction costs, cash contributions to the Corps of Engineers, as well as a number of other supporting roles that SAFCA plays. That may also include additional design services to advance the projects on behalf of the Corps or the state. And we really do see that we're operating on all fronts at this point with our federally authorized programs and projects, as well as the upcoming planning and other activities that are moving the flood protection efforts forward. So to offset that $65 million, we have financing from a number of different sources. We have prior year fund balances of $13.3 million from the current fiscal year that were not spent. We have reserve releases, which is primarily reserves from bond proceeds. And we also have state reimbursements coming in for the state's share of reimbursable costs towards the different projects. Overall, we will see some assessments come in, $98,000 is all, but there is a number of assessment funds that are being held in the fiscal accounts going forward that are not yet being utilized. But for that, we're basically covering the expenditure side of things. And I would like to go ahead and move to the next slide, please, Lindy, and talk a little bit more about the projects themselves. So as we look at the total capital improvement program, it's not perfectly a capital improvement program. And in a general sense, this is our project program for all the infrastructure and capital projects that we're performing and we're proposing to perform in the next fiscal year. As you can see, there are some activities in the O&M on the top. The O&M fund is roughly $933,000 going towards a number of different component activities of trying to work with groundwater and flood waters going into groundwater recharge. We also have a number of activities coming forward, as mentioned, in the Development Impact Fee. Here you can see the support for a number of areas, but primarily the major spends are taking place for the American River Common Features 2016, as well as the levels efforts being done in the Elkhorn Basin. And then as we move into the 325H, or Consolidated Capital Assessment District number 2, again, You can see the two of the federal programs are very large. NATOMAS and American River Common Futures, both carrying a roughly $30 to $33.8 million in activity anticipated coming forward. And then we do have a number of efforts still progressing with the Folsom Dam and the Folsom Dam temperature shutters that are going to be ramping up here quite a bit more. So overall, we're anticipating roughly $98.2 million in overall project expenditures, broken down as you can see here. Next slide, please, Lindy. So overall, based on the information that we have to date, based on the current fund balances, anticipated revenues, and the proposed expenditures that are coming forward, we would like to recommend that your board approve the resolution number 2021-069 and the associated documents for our fiscal year 21-22 recommended budget. Do you have any questions or comments regarding the budget proposal?
Thank you, Jason. Lindy, do we have any public comment on the budget proposal here?
I have not received any public comments, Chairman Harris.
Okay, thank you. And any comments or questions from directors? It's pretty quiet out there. I assume there are no comments. Jason, great job on the budget, I feel. And I just want to put a plug in for the groundwater management and recharge project, the Omochumni project. These are becoming pretty important. You know, we have drought conditions this year that we have not experienced previously. And so all the efforts to help recharge groundwater are going to pay real dividends, I think, in the future. So congratulations to staff on bringing that project forward. That's my comment. And barring any other comments or questions, I would entertain a motion to adopt the fiscal year 21-22 budget.
I'll move to approve the staff recommendation, and thanks, Jason, for all the hard work on this. The finance committee obviously has been involved here and very confident in the work, and thank you.
Second by Frost, and thank you, Jason.
Motion by Avdis, second by Frost. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll?
Matt Konen, Nick Avdis,
Aye.
Deborah Jones,
Aye.
Brian Holloway,
Aye. Great job, Jason.
Cyril Shaw,
Aye.
Angelique Ashby, Jeff Harris,
Aye.
Rick Jennings,
Aye.
Rich Desmond,
Aye.
Sue Frost,
Aye.
Patrick Kennedy, Don Natoli,
Aye.
Phil Cerna.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes with 10-member approval.
Thank you very much. And can we move on to item 2, please?
Item 2 is the Executive Director's Report for June 17th, 2021.
Good afternoon, Chair Harris, members of the board, Rick Johnson. I just wanted to quickly give a follow-up on our National Waterways Conference Regional Spotlight for California that SAFCA sponsored. We ended up having 351 attendees registered, and that didn't include the 21 speakers, so it was very well attended. We had the top leadership from the South Pacific Division and the 3 core districts in California, as well as some of the top leadership from the Department of Water Resources and Central Valley Flood Protection Board, and even had some folks from headquarters and ASA's office that were listening in. So I just wanted to report out today. It went very well. Lindy, if you go to the next slide. I'll switch gears a little bit here, just give a quick update on design and construction activities for each of the projects, starting with NATOMAS. Lindy, if you go to the next slide there. We've got Reach H and Reach B both have the construction ongoing. Reach H, they're finishing up work, seepage work right around 80, just north and south of it. And then we'll see the patrol roads and some of the fence relocations. That construction is supposed to be completed this year. Reach B over along the Sacramento River there. The two main activities are the relocation of the Riverside Canal and the adjacent levee construction. Now, unfortunately, it has caused closure of Garden Highway. It's been closed for a little while, and it will remain closed through November of 2021, right at pumping plant number 3 there. So there is a detour around. This work will continue this year and is supposed to be complete in next year. So, Lindy, if you go to the next slide there. So, Reach D on pumping plant 4, that work has begun. They started the demolition this month, and that is construction should be complete in 21. Moving on to Reach A, that's going to be our challenging one. Where we've got the businesses down on the water side at the lower end of the Sacramento River there. The design's finalized. The construction solicitation is scheduled to go out in this June with a contract award in September, and the construction scheduled to start in 22. So also anxious on that one to see how the bids come in, given the current construction climate there. So that'll be interesting on that one. If you go to the next slide, Lindy. So Reach E, Walla Walla District and Nashville District are doing the designs on that, trying to get those ready for a construction award in 22 with construction in 23 and 24. Likewise, Reaches F and G are being done by the St. Paul District, again, shooting for construction in 23 and 24. Next slide, Lindy. So there is a window right at Reach B under I-5 that we had to leave because of the piers from I-5, and it had to take some work with Caltrans. That contract was awarded in May, and construction did begin right after Memorial Day. So we should have see that finished up this year. Similarly, up on Highway 99, there's just starting the design work on that. We'll be working with Caltrans to work on how to address the seepage under the highway there. That construction is scheduled to be awarded in 22. They're just getting the design contract going this year. And then finally, on Reach I Contract 2, that construction is scheduled for next year. They will start the tree removal construction or contract shooting to be awarded in September this year. And then the slope flattening along Reach I Contract 2, that it's for to stabilize the levees there will be happen next year. So Lindy, if you go run to the next slide. So we'll jump up to Folsom Dam and give you an update on that. If you go to the next slide there, Lindy. So I wanted to include the schedule here. We know Dike 8 was completed. You'll see the purple areas there. That's when the Corps plans to do the procurement for the construction contracts, and the green shows the construction time periods. So the next one we have that's getting ready to go out right now is for the stop logs on the main dam. And the reason I wanted to highlight that is we still haven't heard the final decision from the Change Control Board, but headquarters did give the division has all the funding for that next construction contract. So while they haven't made a final decision, they are still funding everything right now. So that's good news. As you can see, the next big one will be the main dam and the 2 wing dams. That one will go out to start the procurement process the end of this year, with construction starting in 22. And then they're packaging all the dikes 1 through 6 into one contract, and Mormon Island and Dike 7 into a separate one, since they're on different sides of the lake. Those will both be ready to start construction in 22. So we'll have all the rest of the main dam construction contracts going in next year. And then finally, the temperature control shutters running a little bit behind, shooting for getting that construction going in 2023. So Lindy, if you go to the next slide, please. So jumping to American River Common Features 2016, Contract 2 on the Sacramento River East Levee. The map on the left shows the general locations of where the work's going on. Lindy, if you could go to the next slide there. So contract 3 and contract 4 are both in design right now. 3 is further along, shooting to be ready for construction in 22, and then contract 4 is for construction in 23. And currently the ongoing contract 2 is to be completed this year. Lindy, if you go to the next slide. I've got a couple of photos here from the current construction I pulled from the Corps webpage. This shows some of the slurry wall work. Lindy, go to the next slide. This is from a different angle of that work. And the next slide. I wanted to show this one because this shows, this is actually the pond where they mix the slurry. And you can see the size of the staging area that we need to run these operations. And so that's always a challenge in some of these areas where we got neighborhoods right up against it there. Lindy, if you go to the next slide there. This is the area where the Corps is having to do jet grout because the slurry wall, we couldn't install it in here. And next slide, Lindy. And this is that same area just looking back towards the city. So if you could jump to the next slide, Lindy. So going up to the north area there, shoot to the next slide. So we've got 2 activities going on. The Corps is doing the design for the work along Magpie Creek, and that shooting for construction start in 2023. And then on the north area streams, this is the work that Safeca advanced. We're doing the final construction. There needed to be there was a pipe going through the levee that was discovered that needed a positive cutoff valve on. So that work is being done right now to finish that work up. And then go to the next slide, Lindy. So then jumping over to the Sacramento Weir and Bypass, if you go to the next slide. So the Sacramento Weir, the design is supposed to be basically complete by October, and then they'll be doing the reviews and getting the contract documents ready so that work can be awarded in next year. And then as far as the Sacramento Bypass goes, that one's being implemented by the Department of Water Resources. The setback levee on the north side of the bypass is part of the Common Features 2016, and then the east levee, the yellow bypass, is part of widening the yellow bypass. So, Lindy, if you go to the next slide, this just graphically shows you the work along that's being done where the levees are going back. And then DWR has had Safeca. We're building the pumping plant and the drainage facilities, internal drainage facilities for them. Lindy, if you go to the next slide, please. So this is some pictures. Dan showed them at exec committee, but I wanted to share them also here. You can see the drainage canal construction going into where the pumping plant will be located. And then you can also see behind those some of the new setback levee that's being constructed. Lindy, if you go to the next slide. And then finally, the last component of American River 2016 is erosion. On the Sacramento River, the first contract is getting ready for construction for next year. The critical path will be the environmental compliance, which is primarily working through a biological opinion with the services. And then the contracts 2, 3, and 4 are at different stages of design, with 3 and 4 pretty much still being at the concept level at this stage. Lindy, to the next slide. And then on the American River, contracts 1 and 2 both, again, the critical path will be the environmental compliance, but the plan right now is for both of those to go to construction in 22, followed by contract 3, which the design is just finishing up the 35% and moving forward. And then contract 4 is still working on the site selections. 2 have been selected, and then they can start design work on those, and then others are being evaluated. So Lindy, if you go to the next slide. So changing gears away from the construction and design, the president did release his proposed budget, and NATOMAS got $156.915 million. So I wanted to figure out how to compare this to what we've had before. So Lindy, if you go to the next slide. So I picked the 6 highest years that we've ever had on federal funding. 2018 was an anomaly because we had the emergency supplemental funding. So if you just look at the annual funding years, the proposed budget for FY 2022 will actually be the largest budget we've ever had here in SAFCA, and it's all for NATOMAS. And the next largest one was actually the FY 2021 one. So if you go back to the next three biggest, they were back when we were building the JFP and also still had South Sac Streams and American River 9699 going forward. So this indicates that we're still getting strong support from Washington to complete our projects, as both the RAISE and American River Common Features 2016 already have full federal funding. And so the only ones we need the annual funding for is NATOMAS, and it's still getting funding very, very high. So I wanted to share that. So Lindy, if you go to the next slide. So changing gears a little bit, Cal OSHA was set to review and vote on the workplace rules today. I glanced at them. I really haven't had a chance to look at them, but based on these rules, we're looking to reopen the office in the July timeframe. We're looking at some type of a hybrid approach. We did find some efficiencies from working remotely. We also lost some efficiencies by not being in the office, and there were actually some things that we just weren't able to completely do. So we're going to look for a hybrid approach to try to make the best of both, and also try to give employees as much flexibility as we can. It'll also be partially dependent on our state and federal partners, how long they are going to continue to do virtual meetings versus in-person meetings. So those will all have to come into effect as we look at when we reopen, but it'll probably be in the July timeframe. So Lindy, if you could go to the next slide. So on June 11th, the governor signed a new executive order. Basically, one of the components of that extended the exemption rules for the Brown Act and the Bagley-Keene Act till September 30th. Those were the rules that allowed us to continue doing the board meetings in a virtual format. So Lindy, if you go to the next slide. So what does that mean for SAFCA? So basically, we've already canceled the executive committee on July 1st because there were so many people gone for the 4th of July weekend. But the plan is to hold the August 5th and September 2nd executive committee meetings virtually as per our current format under the provisions of that executive order. But unless anything changes based on the executive order provisions, come October 7th and then subsequently to that, we'll be needing to go back to meeting in person with our old format for executive committee. So Lindy, if you go to the next slide, please. So similarly on the board of directors meeting, we plan to do the July, August, and September meetings with our current virtual format. And then in October, based on the rules that were set forth, we'll need to be back into in-person meetings following our original format. Now, we do have some challenges. There are some rules that have been put in place at the city that will make some of availability of some of the spaces a little more difficult. So we're going to have to work with the city and county to make sure we can figure out where to hold our meetings once we go back in October. But we'll be working on that over the next couple of months and get that worked out. So that's all I had, and I'll see if there's any questions.
Thank you, Rick. Appreciate the report. Obviously, a very energetic year for SAFCA and the Corps. Tremendous projects. Any comments from directors? Questions for Rick? Well, I do have one. So can we have sort of a welcome home party at the office in July, and can Lindy bake cookies?
We'll work on something to get everybody back, and when we can all get back together, we'll have to make sure we have some cookies.
All right. That sounds good. Any other issues from directors? Any comments or questions? Very good. We'll go on to consent.
And I have consent matters items 3 through 19, which are in order.
Is there any public comment on consent, Lindy?
I have not received any public comments.
Are there any directors who would like to pull or discuss any aspects of the consent calendar? You are very loquacious today, my friends. If that's the case, I'll take a motion to move consent.
I'll move the consent calendar. This is Desmond.
Jennings will second.
First from Desmond, second from Jennings. I don't hear any comments, so Lindy, will you call the roll, please?
Matt Koenig, Nick Alves,
Aye.
Deborah Jones,
Aye.
Brian Holloway,
Aye.
Cyril Shaw,
Aye.
Angelique Ashby, Jeff Harris,
Aye.
Rick Jennings,
Aye.
Rich Desmond,
Aye.
Sue Frost,
Aye.
Patrick Kennedy, Don Natoli,
Aye.
Phil Cerna.
Aye.
Consent matters are approved with a 10-member approval. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Our final item then would be comments or questions from the Board of Directors. Well, hearing none, I appreciate you all coming today. You made my job really easy. Thanks to staff for all their hard work, and we can call this meeting adjourned.
Good job, Jeff.